Alright, to replace or install a new cylinder on your manifold, first take your top cap off. There's going to be a little plastic seal on here. You take the seal off. Take your pigtail, screw it into the top. Make sure it's tight. Once it's tight, open up your tank slow. And open up your main valve slow. When you replace the tank, it's gonna come from red where it says replace cylinder up to ready for use. Once we deplete the right bank here, we're going to go from the green in-service light down to the red replace cylinder light. Once you see that red light, you know that this side is now empty and ready to be changed. To change the tank, make sure.
You might want to repeat that. I zoomed in onto the. I was zooming there. You might want to repeat that after it got in red.
All right. Once we go into the red, we're going to replace the tank. When you get ready to replace the tank, make sure the tank itself is shut off. Make sure your main valve is shut off. Open the pigtail up slow. Done that, you put your cap back on, make sure it's screwed tight, you roll it out, roll a new one in, and basically do the same thing that we did on the other side. Screw your pigtail in. Tight. Open the valve and open up your main valve slowly. And we'll go from the red replace cylinders up to ready for use.
Zoomed in now on the indicator lamps.
Right now, it's telling me that the left bank is in the lead. That's the one we're taking gas from. And the right bank is ready for use. So once we deplete the gas on the left side, we'll go from the green light down to the red light. And then we'll switch over automatically and go from the yellow light up to the green light. And then we'll be feeding off of the right side. When this changes over, it'll change over. Once we get down to about 220 psi on your left side, what will happen is the gas from the right side will take over the valve, push the valve out, we'll shut this side down, we'll change the lights, and then we'll start feeding off of the left side. To change your outlet pressure, you pull these little nuts off. You get an Allen wrench. To the right, you're going to raise your pressure. To the left, you're going to lower your pressure going out to the facility. Pressure switches. The only thing the pressure switches are here for is to operate the lights and an alarm panel if you have one. It also triggers the alarm panel. The diversion valve, you've got a long side and a short side. Whatever the short side, whichever way the short side is facing, that's the regulator that we're using. We only use one regulator at a time. We do this because if we're using this regulator now, if something goes wrong to this regulator where it starts to leak or it won't hold the pressure, you switch this over and it will start using up this regulator. Once you switch it over, we can change this regulator and get it ready to go for the next time.
I want to mention the 50.
Preferably your outlet pressure or the pressure going up to the labs should be at least 50 psi, because any lower than that is going to slow the reaction time for the manifolds, and it might get to the point where it's not going to change over like it should. It's not going to operate. So I recommend that we keep your regulator set at 50 and put regulators on your lab tables to bring it down to what you need.
Do's and don'ts?
Don'ts, when you change your pigtails, when you change the bottles, do not use Teflon tape going into the bottle, because if a piece of the tape breaks off and gets into the manifold, into one of the regulators, it will mess it up to where it's not going to work properly. Every time you change a bottle, when you go to turn it back on, always open your valve slow. And if you have to shut it off at night or over the weekend, always open up one side at a time. And like I say, open them up slow. Open up one side, then come back and open up the other side. And whichever side you open first is going to be the side that's going to be in service. Other than that, maintenance on these, there really isn't any. I'd say once a month, come by with a bottle of soap and water, spray all your connections, check for leaks. Whenever you change a bottle, always spray and make sure that it's not leaking.
And you might want to tell them what that is, in case.
This here is just a power supply. What we do is we take 115 or 120 power coming to the manifold, and basically all that does is operate the lights. Everything else in here is all operated by pressure. We also pick up our alarm points in here if you do have an alarm panel. Now, if for some reason you do lose power, what's going to happen is once you lose power, we're going to start bleeding from both sides. We'll use both sides at the same time until the power is restored, then it'll go back to the way it was originally. So you're always going to have gas delivery no matter what. Oh, yeah.